Over the years of human evolution, there's something that each one of us knows for sure, that sooner or later we are going to die. That death is inevitable. But what if someone told you that you can reverse your biological age and live with the vitality of an 18-year-old, regardless of how old you actually are? Sounds too good to be true, right? Like something straight out of the sci-fi blockbuster or a dystopian novel. But for Bryan Johnson, it's neither fiction nor fantasy. It's real life. His mission? To defy aging, push human limits, and redefine what it means to be human. And he's not just dreaming about it. He's spending millions of dollars every year and dedicating every waking and sleeping moment of his life to this bold endeavor. To not die. Some might call Bryans Quest extreme, but history is full of people who pushed boundaries for the greater good. Take the Wright brothers for example. Their obsession with flight led to humanity's first powered flight in 1903, changing the world forever. Like the Wright brothers, Bryan is driven by a single vision. While they wanted to conquer the skies, Bryan wants to conquer time itself. Throughout history, humans have sought immortality, whether through deeds, legacy, or legend. Bryans Quest is just a modern twist on an ancient obsession. Philosophers like Albert Camus have pondered the meaning of life and death for centuries. Camus believed that the only serious philosophical question is whether or not life is worth living. For Bryan, it seems that the answer is a resounding yes. But if immortality becomes possible, it could change everything. Our values, our goals, and even the very fabric of society. Would we build civilization from the scratch, knowing that we have all the time in the world? Bryan's story is not your typical rags to riches tale, nor is it one of entrepreneurial success. It's something far more ambitious, a journey that spans cutting-edge neuroscience, radical health experiments, and even philosophical reflections on the meaning of life itself. So, buckle up, because today we are diving deep into the life of a man who is hacking time. Before we get into Bryan's obsession with longevity, let's rewind a little and see how he got here. In 2003, he graduated from Brigham Young University with a degree in international studies, followed by an MBA from University of Chicago Booth School of Business in 2007. That's when things really started to change. In 2007, armed with nothing but an idea and ambition, Bryan founded Braintree, a payment processing company. Now, if you have ever used services like Airbnb or Uber, chances are you have interacted with Braintree's technology without even knowing it. The company quickly became a major player in the fintech world, growing at an unprecedented pace. But Bryan wasn't done. In 2012, Braintree made a major move. It acquired Venmo, the peer-to-peer payment app that's now practically a household name. The acquisition costed $26.2 million, and it turned out to be a masterstroke. Just a year later, in 2013, Braintree was acquired by PayPal for $800 million, making Bryan over $300 million richer. Financial freedom secured, right? Most people would have retired at that point. Maybe bought a yacht, traveled the world, or relaxed on the beach somewhere. But Bryan Johnson wasn't most people. Instead of slowing down, he sped up. With financial freedom in hand, Bryan set his sights on something far more ambitious than payments: human potential itself. Kernel, a company he founded with a vision of unlocking the mysteries of human brain. Kernel's mission is simple, yet incredibly profound: to develop devices that can measure and interpret brain activity in real time. These brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, have the potential to revolutionize the way we understand human cognition. Imagine a world where we could enhance human intelligence, treat debilitating neurological disorders like Alzheimer's with pinpoint accuracy, or even unlock entirely new cognitive abilities. Bryan believes that by decoding the brain, we are not just solving mechanical problems. We are opening the doors to a future where human intelligence is expanded. And Kernel is not just a pipe dream. With devices like Flow and Flux, Bryan is betting that one day soon we'll be able to map the human mind in ways we can't comprehend yet. But for Bryan, understanding the brain wasn't enough. There was another far more personal question that he wanted to answer. How can we stop aging? That's where Project Blueprint comes in. Perhaps Bryan's most audacious undertaking yet. Blueprint isn't just a health regimen. It's a scientifically backed attempt to reverse aging and maintain the biological state of an 18-year-old. Every aspect of Bryan's life is meticulously tracked. What he eats, how he sleeps, even his nighttime erections are logged. Yep, you heard that right. Bryan Johnson, in his mid-40s, wants to have the body, heart, and mind of an 18-year-old. Here is how it works. Every day, Bryan follows an almost robotic routine. He wakes up at precisely the same time, eats a perfectly measured vegan diet, takes over 100 supplements, and engages in carefully tailored workouts. But it doesn't stop there. He undergoes whole body MRIs, DNA sequencing, and uses glucose monitors to track every single biomarker you can think of. His body is essentially a living science experiment. Fun fact, there is even a betting market on his health markers, bridging the gap between personal health and public entertainment. And the results? Bryan claims that he has reduced his biological age by at least 5 years. He can now boast about the heart of a 37-year-old and maintains a level of health that most people half his age would envy. One of his most controversial experiments was a multi-generational plasma exchange. Bryan, his father, his son, all of them participated. The idea? Transfusing young blood might rejuvenate older bodies. Of course, not everyone is on board with Bryan's extreme biohacking. Critics argue that his approach is elitist, something only the ultra-wealthy can afford. Spending over $2 million on health optimization isn't exactly feasible for an average person. Some have even questioned whether it's ethical to pursue such life extension when so many people around the world lack basic healthcare. But Bryan sees it differently. For him, this isn't just about living longer. It's about pushing human boundaries and inspiring new possibilities. He believes humanity is a fundamentally suicidal species. We pollute our planet, engage in endless wars, and neglect our health. Bryan's goal is to change that narrative, to show that we can be better, live longer, and even find a way to cheat death. So, is Bryan Johnson a visionary, bravely charting a new path for humanity? Or is he just a wealthy entrepreneur chasing a vanity-driven dream? One thing is certain, he's asking the big questions. What does it mean to live? What does it mean to age? And most importantly, what could it mean to never die? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story of ambition, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for being with me till the end. I'll be back with a new video soon on deep dives on fascinating people who are changing the world.